So, Hannah, thank you so much because we're going to speak as part of Women and Girls in Sport Week. We're speaking to you because we're talking to the female role models and people that inspire others. And just to kind of chat through some of the experiences that you've had in cycling and what we can do to help support that growth and try and get like an increase in numbers of women sort of taking part in cycling and competing and participating however they enjoy. So, how did you get into cycling?
So I'm a paracyclist. People know me mainly for the number of wheels. I ride a trike, which is 3 wheels. I got into cycling through a talent ID day after I became really good at another athletic sport called race running. And yeah, I was recruited, headhunted, went to a talent ID day um, through British Cycling, and they were specifically headhunting women because they had none on program. So they sent an email out to all the universities and maybe even schools saying, are you disabled? Are you a woman? Can you ride any of the following? A bike, a hand cycle, or a trike, or a tandem. And then, yeah, and then I turned up, and then, bam, 2 years later, I was riding at the Rio Paralympics. Crazy.
That's a massive journey to have sort of
Yeah.
made that move just from one thing to another. Did you find that there was a lot of support through that process?
So when I was recruited, that's way back, it was 2014, and at that point, UK Sport had given British Cycling a bit of money to make sure that they recruited all the girls. And so that was really good. I think that was really positive, and there was a lot of support. I was surrounded by lots of women. I hope they keep it up for Tokyo, and I'm yet to see that. They have not done the same recruitment drive, so yeah, that's a bit sad. I wish there were more people like me who'd got involved that way, but it doesn't look like it for this cycle. But hey, we've got 1 year extra, so fingers
That's
crossed.
true, an extra year.
Yeah.
Didn't you find that a big benefit of cycling, that network of other females that take part in it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really I'm a very much like a team player. So much so that there are actually so few women now on the paracycling program that I had to branch out to the Olympic program. So quite a lot of the Olympic track girls know me pretty well. Not by their own choice, more that I was like, hi, I want you as a teammate. Can I be your friend? So yeah, that way it's really good.
And I think that's something about cycling, for all it's an individual sport and activity for a lot of people, that team and supportive pack mentality can really be important for women as well, especially.
Yeah, especially as British cycling is still basically run by men, and although they're really trying to change that, sport is still quite a male-dominated world, or some sports are, football and like all the golf and cycling and boxing, etc., etc. So it really helps fundamentally to have women around you. They may not be your coaches or the people managing the system, but as long as there are some, it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so, kind of thinking of that, like in terms of role models and that, how important are role models and who inspires you to keep on cycling and getting on your trike when it's horrid weather outside?
Yeah, I mean, it's the people around you, the people that you actually see every day. And if you don't have a choice of seeing it on TV, which I never did, and there currently isn't any, then you have to go by what you see, in your local community. I think the best thing is we've got loads of grassroots cycling clubs in Scotland, and I really want to big that up. Seeing people commute to work, or like seeing people commute to work with kids, anybody, like that's really important, as well as the big stars. Like shout out to Katie Archibald in Scottish cycling. Everyone loves her, and she also inspires me on a daily basis. So yeah,
I think she inspires almost everyone in Scotland on a daily basis.
every single person, exactly.
um, what, from your point of view, do you think that we could do if there was one thing that we could do to make cycling more representative of society as a whole and address that gender imbalance? What would make an impact?
Oh, well, I'm a big one for cycling infrastructure. So I think, accessible infrastructure, making sure that it's not just like it's really wide, and that it's accessible to everyone. And Scotland's pretty good for that. But also, I don't know, I would love to see some integrated events. So which we are actually having in Glasgow quite soon. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, every big cycling event I think should have a paracycling event alongside it. I think that should be the standard wherever it is in the world. I also think, we have to have equal prize money. Really, really, that's still happening today. There was a local hill climb that they gave the men way more prize money than the women, and it's like a local thing where the women had to pay the same entry fee. It's like, what? No, are you kidding? Anyway.
No, I think that you've kind of captured that. There's the big thing of the infrastructure, but then the small everyday things that can make such a difference to that female participation.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you yourself sort of you've touched on some of those difficulties there due to being either female or to the bicycle that you actually or the tricycle that you actually ride. Have you had any challenges within the cycling world sort of to make those steps in it?
Yeah, I think especially I'm gonna bring it up, but saddles and saddle sores and comfort for women, that isn't something that is talked about very often. I've actually talked about it a lot in my writing, and it's really important, especially for women. We don't necessarily talk about our pain, like that is sorry, but vulval health is not something that's brought up ever,
Yep.
but it's a huge thing. If you're a woman and you sit on a saddle and it gives you like massive swelling, you're never going to sit back on that saddle. You're never going to do it, because you're going to maybe there's lots of different reasons, but mostly like tackling that pain as a woman is really hard and nobody talks about it. So I want to change that. That's a big thing. But I think hopefully it's changing. It's 2020. You know, we're going through big changes of being able to chat about difficult stuff and awkward stuff. So yeah.
I think that's definitely something that people are. It's definitely not the only thing that you're famous for, but you've had a
One.
significant impact on people's
Thanks.
willingness and comfortableness about talking about those things and being so open and I suppose brave in some ways. I hope we get to the point that it's no longer considered brave to be able to discuss those issues. But
Yeah.
I think what you did was fantastic to be able to put it out there, and hopefully it will get more women talking about some of those situations and even just addressing them and not just accepting that it's got to hurt when you ride a bike.
Yeah, literally people can use my article just for their doctor. Some people have, or their whoever disbelieves them. Like some people don't have saddle problems, so they'll be like, what are you crying over? And then they'll be like, yes, I do, and so does she. And
Yep.
so I can be the other one, yeah, that you use. We're going to be strength in numbers.
I think that's a big part of this. It's strength in numbers, and women's cycling really needs that strong people that take a bit of a lead. You're one very positive example of experiences and being comfortable sharing that. But have you got anything else that's sort of really positive that you've been a part of, sort of in terms of that, inspiring more women to take part from entry level up to elite competition, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, for me, elite competition, I was only really taken on board for the Rio Paralympics because there was a brand new medal event for women. Before Rio in London, for a trike event, you had to beat the men to get a medal. So it was a mixed event. It was like back in the dark ages. So realistically, I think personally that you must have an event there with a medal, with equal medal opportunities and or funding in order to then spur on the people that were going to go who are going to train for 4 years 2 years to get that opportunity. Obviously that's not necessarily grassroots, but for most disabled people who want to get really sporty, it starts with a Paralympic medal.
And that's the sort of vision and inspiration then to
Yeah.
aim towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I suppose just finally, if you had one bit of advice to get for women who want to take on cycling, what would you say to them?
Yeah, don't bother with how you look. This is an opportunity to just go by what your body can do and how you feel. And you feel fast and furious and, get your rage out or even just enjoy cycling with friends. Yeah, try and take it away about try and stop yourself thinking about how you look. Maybe you look silly, but it's about what your body can do. And I think people don't really value what their body can do enough, and we should. And a bike is a great way to do that because you can go super fast. You can be so fast people won't even see you. I think in this world full of social media and selfies and stuff, it's really important to have a place and a time where you can just not focus on your face and focus on your muscles and just getting it all out there.
That's a really beautiful message. Thank you.
Thanks for broadcasting it.
Right. Okay, give me 2
Okay.
seconds. Fraser can edit this bit out. We'll say thank you to it, and then I'll press stop recording, and then I'll actually say thank you to it. So
Okay.
Fraser will edit this bit out. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Hannah, for speaking to us as part of Women and Girls Sport Week. And good luck with everything that you're going to get up to.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.